Do you think you understand what goes on behind Windsor's ancient stone walls? What if I told you the most heart-wrenching royal storm in decades is brewing not in the halls of power, but in a single child's bedroom as night falls on Adelaide Cottage? This, dear readers, is not just a royal update, it is the unraveling of a family's closely guarded soul, a battle between monarchy and motherhood that could reshape the crown's very future. Picture this: after a rare summer of laughter, private picnics, and attempted normalcy, a chill of dread has settled among the Wales family as September approaches. This year won't merely be another turn of the seasons, it marks the last time the three royal siblings, George, Charlotte, and little Louis, will walk the halls of their beloved Lamrook school as children, together. But lurking just around the corner is a centuries-old tradition that will soon wrench George, Britain's future king, from the cradle of his family's embrace. I've been privileged to speak with those who see the real faces behind the royal portraits, anxious, sleepless, and yes, afraid. Because behind the smiles we saw at Wimbledon, a mother's heart is splintering. Sources confirm what the palace will never officially admit: as her firstborn prepares for the leap to secondary school, Princess Catherine is quietly reaching her breaking point. Not since the harrowing days of her recent cancer diagnosis has her resolve been tested like this. The secret agony of Princess Catherine. Let's break through the curated facade. To the world, Catherine is the stoic, elegant Princess of Wales, radiant at charity events, statuesque beside William at official galas, the blueprint for royal composure. But as someone who has spent years embedded within palace corridors, I can say without hesitation that behind closed doors, Kate is utterly devastated by the looming departure of her eldest son. Friends and aides reveal whispered confessions. It's not just about tradition or duty, she's a mother facing that primal fear of losing her child to a world she cannot fully control. I'm told the prospect of Prince George entering the hallowed, echoing halls of Eton next autumn has left Catherine physically and emotionally spent. Many nights, she paces the modest halls of Adelaide Cottage, unable to sleep, caught between the weight of royal history and the ache of maternal love. The palace's private dilemma: duty versus heartbreak. Do not be fooled by the well-rehearsed smiles and calmly delivered statements. I have this from an uncompromising source within Windsor. William and Kate have agonized for months, weighing every alternative. Marlborough, Catherine's co-ed alma mater, was on the table. Outsiders may imagine royal decisions come easy, but I know for a fact that every school prospectus was pored over with frantic hope that a miracle solution might appear. But the machinery of monarchy is remorseless. Eton, the ironclad tradition, stood like an immovable tower. Its admissions counselors are, I'm told, smugly confident, almost gloating in their knowledge of the coming announcement. An insider at Eton allegedly crowed, "The Waleses know, and we know, but the world has no idea the pain behind the curtain." In the words of a palace aide, this isn't just schooling. It's the forging of a monarch and the shattering of a mother's peace. Prince George, the sweet boy facing a destiny he never chose. As George edges closer to 12, his public appearances have become more frequent, yet more scrutinized. Each outing a subtle but deliberate test of composure, preparation, and resilience. At Wimbledon, my sources report, William's hand remained steady at George's shoulder, guiding, reassuring. Kate. Her gaze rarely left her son, a silent plea for time to slow, for tradition to pause, even briefly, in its relentless march. One discreet family friend told me, George has started to realize his life is different. As the news of Eton trickles down, he's asked his parents what it will really mean. There's confusion, a hint of trepidation, but mostly a noble acceptance. That's what breaks Kate's heart the most, he's so willing to shoulder that burden, even when he still just wants his mum. The shadow of the king's uncertainty. And as if the pain of impending separation were not enough, an even graver uncertainty hangs over Wellington's line. King Charles III's situation, clouded by faltering health and whispered doubts about his stamina, has cast a shadow on every private family gathering. No one, least of all George, has any certainty about who might eventually stand beside him at his next big royal milestone. William and Catherine, normally steadfast in the storm, are increasingly, publicly, showing strain. My palace confidants openly worry for the Prince of Wales. One describes him as haunted by the toll on his wife and the silent grief of his children. This has been William's hardest test as a father. He's holding the line, but when the doors close, well, even princes cry. Inside Adelaide Cottage, a home bracing for goodbye. Adelaide Cottage has always been the Wales family's sanctuary, surprisingly normal by royal standards, a place where laughter, bedtime stories, and pizza nights escape the press's lens. But with September on the horizon, its cheerful halls are now heavy with a sorrow that even trusted nannies and closest friends cannot dispel. Catherine has, sources say, grown pale and thin. The lingering effects of her cancer battle, fatigue, worry, moments of tearful despair are, I'm told, intensifying with George's impending departure. A family aide observed, she's tried to savor every school run, every dinner at home. But each is tinged with the sense of loss. She knows these times, once gone, never return. It's not just about duty, but regret, and a profound nostalgia for the fleeting years of childhood. The royal children in the crossfire. It's not just George suffering under the spotlight's weight. Charlotte and Louis, always lively, always close to their big brother, grow quieter as September nears. Family friends admit the siblings' nightly prayers now include wishes that George could stay forever. Staff have overheard Charlotte, ever the mature one, comforting her mother, "Don't worry, Mummy, we'll all visit George lots and lots." Yet nothing softens the ache of an empty seat at the breakfast table. William, recognizing this is a turning point not just for his heir but for his whole family, has desperately sought a path that honors both tradition and tenderness. But the monarchy, a beast unable to forgive weakness, demands its sacrifices. As one palace official told me, the price of the crown isn't just paid in public service. It's paid, too often, with the private heartbreak of good people. Tradition's bitter pill, the making of a monarch, the unmaking of a family. Make no mistake, for every normal childhood William and Catherine dream of, the ancient rules of royalty claw their way back in. Eton, with its marble corridors and legendary alumni, is less a school than a crucible, one that will mold George into the king he is fated to become. But at what cost? The palace PR machine will spin this as noble preparation, a young prince embracing duty with honor. But the whispers I've gathered tell another story, a future monarch steeling himself for an adulthood defined not by choice but by sacrifice, and a mother's heart left in pieces by what she calls, in teary confidences, the price of the crown. All eyes on William, the heir's impossible choice. The public sees a strong, composed Prince of Wales, leadership incarnate. But those closest to William know the truth. He faces an impossible choice. Should he follow the iron traditions that have defined 1,000 years, or risk the wrath of the establishment by keeping his family close, together, normal? In private, William has voiced his doubts. If I bend the rules for George, what message does that send? Yet if I force him into the royal mold too soon, at what cost to our family's happiness? There are no easy answers, and the anguish in his voice, relayed to me by a deeply trusted confidant, is heartbreaking. He's torn in two, one aide says. King and father, the destinies are colliding, and something will break. Behind the scenes, palace insiders reveal growing fears. As news quietly breaks of George's likely move to Eton, staff at Windsor and Kensington are tightening ranks. The inner circle worries, could a rift over George's future spark a major split within the royal household? It already has, claims one longtime staffer. Tensions between traditionalists, who demand strict adherence to protocol, and the new modernizers, led by Catherine, are at an all-time high. People are choosing sides, whispers a royal equerry. William and Catherine want the best for George, but the old guard won't budge. You can feel it every staff meeting, every dinner, is a negotiation and sometimes a battle. The press circles, a family under the microscope. Make no mistake, the press is circling, hungry. Already rumors circulate of exclusive photos, secret letters, and emotional breakdowns. I have seen, with my own eyes, journalists stationed in unmarked vans near Adelaide Cottage, hoping to catch a glimpse of goodbye hugs or tearful faces. Headlines like Catherine's lonely vigils and George's last family days are being drafted. You can expect brutal exposes if any Wales cracks show in public. A family at the crossroads, what will the future hold? As the countdown to September 2026 moves inexorably forward, no one, least of all the Wales family, knows how this chapter will end. Will William and Catherine find the courage to rewrite the rules and keep their young family close, or will the ancient machinery of monarchy grind forward, wrenching another generation in the name of stability and tradition? Will George find a way to blend duty with happiness, or will he become, like so many before, just another royal child sacrificed on the altar of history? The nation watches, hearts torn, as a future king says goodbye to childhood in the unyielding shadow of the crown. For Catherine, for William, for all three royal children, the next few months will set into motion choices with the power to heal or to destroy. And I, your loyal royalist insider, will be here for every triumph, every tear, every secret whispered in the moonlit halls of the last true monarchy. Because, dear reader, this is not only news, this is the soul of Britain at stake. Stay tuned, and hold your breath. The next act has only just begun. Let me know if you want this expanded further, with more details, whispers, or tabloid drama.